Hello everyone, this is George Matthew from Brooklyn Review. Today I'll be talking to you about the basics of the verbal reasoning section of the GRE examination. So as you all know, that GRE is a standardized test developed by Educational Testing Service. And this examination has got three different content areas or three different segments. Obviously, the first one is Analytical Writing Assessment or AVA. The second one is verbal reasoning, and the third one is quantitative reasoning. And if you want to understand the whole GRE examination structure and pattern, so there are videos available in our channel that you can actually watch those videos later. But today in this video, I'll be focusing only on the verbal reasoning part of the GRE examination. So what is verbal reasoning? So this is a section or segment or a content area which is going to focus on two major things. The first one is your linguistic ability or your language skills. And the second one, of course, is your reasoning ability or your logical ability. And if you can combine both these skills, then you're actually going to do pretty well in the GRE verbal reasoning section. Now let's try to understand. So what is the content areas or the question types that you're going to encounter in the verbal reasoning section of the GRE examination? In the verbal reasoning segment, there are three question types only. The first one is called sentence equivalence, and the second one is called text completion, and the third one is called reading comprehension. Now let us try to understand each of these question types from close quarters. Sentence equivalence, otherwise called SE, is one of the three question types which you'll encounter in the verbal reasoning segment. So in sentence equivalence, you are going to be provided with one sentence, and this one sentence will have a blank. And this sentence will be followed by 6 different answer choices. And these choices can be either a word or a phrase. So 6 such choices. And your job is to select 2 options from those 6 options provided to you and create 2 meaningful, also identical or equal sentences. So you're going to create meaningful sentences. Not only that, both these sentences should be identical or equal. So that is why this particular question type is called sentence equivalence. So in order to do well in sentence equivalence, again, you need to have 2 major skills. The number one skill, of course, would be your command over English vocabulary, especially understanding them in the context provided. So GRE tests contextual vocabulary. Right. So the next question type is called text completion, or we fondly call it TC. So what do we have in text completion or TC? In TC we have sentences, maybe up to a paragraph. So there could be a single sentence, maybe 2 sentences, 3 sentences, maybe up to 5 sentences, or even a good paragraph. And these sentences or sentence may have a single blank or a double blank or even 3 different blanks. So certain text completion questions are single blank questions, some of them are double blank questions, some of them are triple blank text completion questions. So if it is a single blank question, you will be provided with 5 different options to choose from. So again, just like in sentence equivalence, your options are going to be either words or phrases. So your job is to pick one and fill in the blank and make a meaningful sentence, or rather a meaningful text. Now let's try to understand also, what if we have 2 blanks or 3 blanks? If there are 2 blanks, of course, for each of these blanks, there will be 3 choices provided to you. So your job is to go to the options, out of the 3 options, pick one and fill it in the corresponding blank. So if you've got 3 blanks, again, for blank number 1, there will be 3 options, blank number 2, there will be 3 options, and blank number 3, there will be 3 options. So your job is to again pick up the right choice, fill in the blank, and make meaningful sentence or sentences, and eventually meaningful text. So that's why they are called text completion questions. Now we understood text completion question. Let us also have a look at the third question type, which is reading comprehension, or again RC in short. So reading comprehension, as the name suggests, provides you reading passages, which could be a single paragraph, two paragraph, three paragraph, big passages. So your job is to read the content and answer questions, a plethora of questions. Now these passages could be short passages, long passages, or logic based passages. So your job is to again read passages, comprehend them or understand them, and answer questions. So we talked about the question types which you will encounter in the verbal reasoning part of the examination. And again, the verbal reasoning is scored on a scale of 130 to 170, which will, again, if you add it with the quantitative reasoning score, which is 130 to 170, you will actually get minimum 260 to 340 in the whole GR examination. So out of which half of it is contributed from the verbal. So therefore, it's very important, it is imperative that you pay attention to the verbal reasoning segment of the GR examination. At Brooklyn Review, we take care of your training needs, and we've been doing it for some long time. And our trainers are some of the best in the industry. They are trained and certified by international agencies such as ATS, Pearson VUE, British Council, IDP Australia, and also they are trained by the internal training mechanism that we have at Brooklyn Review, and they're also certified by the internal training agencies. So the quality is thus assured, and these trainers are well qualified and extremely well experienced. So a minimum of 15 to 20 years of experience, which is unmatched in the industry. So we have got plenty of practice materials, plenty of mock exams, for your vocabulary practice, for your practice of these question types, and eventually taking mock exams as well. So if you're looking for good quality training for your verbal reasoning and for your whole GRE training regimen, so if you're looking for quality options, then Brooklyn Review has to be, it should be your choice. And so if you are interested in knowing anything further about the GRE verbal reasoning, please ask your questions. Feel free, ask your questions. And also, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. And please check the details in the description so you can contact us for further training.